Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and today I'm here to start on my design team project for the joint project between Tanya at Tatty Treasure shop and Nanine at Collage Type. Now, this kit called Down the Rabbit Hole has 64 pages. Yes, 64 pages. I'm not going to show you every single page or it would cut into our tutorial time. Okay, so there are, by my count, there are 14 horizontal pages and the rest are vertical. And there are 30 ephemera pages and 34 kit pages. So that was just a quick count on my computer just looking at them. So your mileage may vary. So these are some of the horizontal pages. This one's the cover. If you want to use it as such, most people probably will. It's a great picture. And then this is a horizontal page, but it's like a backing page. But the text is all going this way, so it's a horizontal page. And then the rest of the horizontal pages are writing on one side and image on the other, except for, you know, a couple other horizontal backing pages and a couple of all writing pages. I didn't come out right. And then here's an all text page. So that would be a backing page. And then here's some more of the horizontal pages. The images are great. They appear to be, and I'm pretty sure they are, from the original Lewis Carroll book, Alice in Wonderland. I don't know what is wrong with my brain right now. This is like the third time that I've recorded this. You'd think I'd get it down by now. These two pages, the writing area is in columns. You could do something there. You could put some little tickets down the middle or something and still have writing space on either side. I know that I've got that kind of bent over. There's just so many, it's a little difficult to hold. So these are the horizontal pages. And yep, these are the horizontal pages. Now, I only printed out 17 pages of the ephemera pages because I didn't print out the small fussy cuts like the flowers and such, because our project is not going to be big enough to need all of the fussy cuts. And as you guys know, I have difficulty with my hands in cutting fussy cuts. And I'm in the middle of transitioning from a Brother Scanning cut to a Cricut. So we'll see how that goes, won't we? These are some of the vertical pages. I said I wasn't going to show you all of them, but I showed you the horizontal pages, didn't I? And these are the vertical pages. I love this one. It's one of my favorite ones. It says, "I'm late," and it's got the rabbit. This one, of course, could be either way. These backing papers here. Or this one is directional. This one's not. You could go either way. This one has text, so it's going to be a definite vertical. And the same with this one. I love this one. It's a great kit. And you get so much. So much. This backing paper has clocks on it. It's probably, it may be too light for you to see on the camera. And I'm not really sure how long to hold it up there to get the camera to focus. So, I have a whole new video set up now. So, that's why my voice sounds different as well. Because I'm not using my lapel mic. I'm using my webcam microphone. So, there's those. And there's more. And they're all really cool looking. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I promised. I promised. And here's a few more vertical pages. In the kit, they're labeled patron pages. So I'm not sure if they're for the Patreon patrons or if they're come in the kit in general. But they're very pretty. It's 4 vertical pages. So there's this one, this one, this one. I love these half and half pages. And this one. And the whole kit is done in a really pretty sepia tone. And then it has the blues and the peaches. So, and this could be just a lighter sepia. It isn't really peach, so don't get confused. And so there's those 4 pages. Then we come to the ephemera, and there is just a ton of ephemera, a ton. And there's these giant tags, which are really cool. These big giant writing tags. There's these playing cards. If we had enough time, we would use an altered playing card and use one of the cards that I have, but we'll have to wait and see. These cool doors. I'll probably use this one. And I'll give you a sneak hint probably in our envelope stack. Here's some smaller writing cards. And it goes on. And there's pockets. And there's washi. And there's the decorations that we're going to use, which are the smaller decorative ones. And then these ones with the sayings on them. Because we're just not going to have room, you know, for a lot of the finer fussy cuts, you know. And then here's some belly bands, a pocket, and a couple of cards. I'm just kind of jumping through. Oh, look, there's another set of tags. So we'll bring these back and put this one with that one. Oh, that's the lobster. You hardly ever see him. Okay. Now, as far as what we're going to do an envelope stack on top of a manila folder folio. Now, don't freak out. We've only got 4 days. So, 4 videos, which equals 4 days. And they are going to be in a row. So don't worry about that. You'll be able to go right from one to the next. It's not once a week or, you know, whatever. This is for the month of May. And we're starting on the 23rd of May. So, yeah, we're going to push it right towards the end. Now, you're going to need at least one legal-sized manila folder, and you can get them on Amazon. If you are looking on Amazon, where it says the price, look down and see, and sometimes you can catch a box of 100 for $1.78. Because there's a little bit of damage to the box. Doesn't affect the folders at all, as you can see. It's a perfectly good folder. And yeah, I got 100 of them for $1.78. And so did a whole bunch of the members at the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, because they told my members and everybody jumped on it. Then we're going to need some invitation-sized cream-colored envelopes. And these are large, like birthday card sized cream colored envelopes, and I just ordered some cream colored business envelopes. So those are going to be the number 10s, which are the normal envelope that you put a letter in. Okay, so we'll definitely be using some of each of those, and that'll be for our envelope stack and for flip outs. And then we're going to be using magnets. And I'm going to try to find somewhere to put an eyelet and a charm. I have this really cool teacup charm, and I thought that would go really good with a rabbit, because it's down the rabbit hole, with an Alice in Wonderland themed book. So we'll see if I can get that on the cover of the envelope stack or not. All right, so that's the brief introduction. Haha, brief for me, talking really fast. And then we'll come right back. It'll be instantaneous for you, but not for me. And then we will start our project. Okay, I will see you in just one sec. Okay, I'm back. Are you guys ready for this? Okay, so you're going to need 3 of these smaller envelopes. You're going to need 2 of these larger envelopes, and of course we're going to have to cut them down for the envelope stack. We're not going to make a great big one, but we're going to have one with a couple special features. So I'm going to set, yes, this is for the envelope stack. I'm going to set that to the side for right now, and what we're going to do, and the magnets and the ribbon, what we're going to do is we're going to make the main manila folder book. Now we're not going to do anything super fancy because we're going to have a couple special features on our envelope stack. We are going to add an extra page to our book, but that's all we're really going to do. So now we're gonna need to make our envelope, our folder 11.5 inches long. Okay, save this, and then we're going to have to make it 8 1/4. Is that right? 8 3/4 tall. So we're basically cutting off the tabs. Hopefully we're cutting them off on both sides. Yes. I used a left or right, a right tabbed folder. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half with the part that closes on the bottom. So we're going to fold it in half. You guys have seen me make these before, so we're going to kind of zoom along. We're going to have to try to zoom along. We're going to have to cut away for me to, do papering and things like that. I'll show you how, and then I'll go away and come back. Okay. We're really going to try to do this in 3 videos, but it will probably be 4. And as you can see, I have folded this crooked. Let's see if I can fix it. Try that. Well, it's still crooked. Let me see one of my papers. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be okay. I'm not super happy with that. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. And then we were going to stop at that point anyway. So you're going to open it back up. Now I'm not inking the folder. I am inking the papers. I didn't want to use vintage photo, but I kind of got stuck with it because I couldn't really find another color that I liked, because we're not going to ink them very dark. I tried brushed corduroy and it wasn't bad. It looked nice, but it was a smidge dark. And I also tried scattered straw, which is one of my favorites, and it looked good, but it wasn't quite dark enough for the dark areas. So here we are, vintage photo. Okay, so now you're going to open this up and you're going to cut it. You're going to cut it across here. Okay, I almost made a flap. Wait a minute. we want to have a page. We want to cut it along here. Sorry about that. My brain's not functioning. I've been up quite a while doing a bunch of the pre-work. Now, this is going to be more work than what the video shows. I've already been working on the envelope stack for an hour at least. However, I am planning it out and then showing you what we're going to do. So that's a little bit more than just doing it, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we're going to fold this back together. You want your cut side on the right. Come here, you. And then that makes an extra page. We do have a bit of a tab, don't we? Okay. So then we're going to take this and we're going to glue this together. Now you can make a side pocket or a top pocket, but just so you know, we're going to have a ribbon that goes around. So it just depends on what you want to do. I'm going to make mine a top pocket. Yeah, I'm going to make it a top pocket. So I'm going to glue mine right along here and right along here. And that will leave the top that will leave the top open for a pocket. So I'm going to glue along here all the way up. I'm not sure if you can see the end, but I'm going to go all the way to the end. Try not to make the pocket too small, which I already am. Okay, and then you're going to glue that shut. That'll give you a pocket, and it'll give you your extra page. Glues this shut. We're going to glue the end shut. Alright, so right now what you have is a book, which I'm going to redo mine because it's crooked. But you're going to have a book, and you're going to have the first page, and that's going to have the pocket in the top. You're going to have a second page, and then you're going to have a third page, and then the back cover. Now on this front cover is where our envelope stack is going to be. Okay, and so that's what we're going to take a look at now. Alright, so our envelope stack is going to be built off of the back image. Now, the image is going, I decided to glue it to a manila folder to make a border, just like there's a border on the inside. Excuse me just a second. Alright, however, the thing that's going to be different about our envelope stack, the envelopes attached to this image, not to the manila folder, okay? And so what we're going to do is I left the piece like this instead of cutting it off to just one flat side. And so our whole envelope stack is going to open, and we'll have a writing page. This is the part that's going to be against the book, so it should be fine. And then we'll have the book page, and this one is about the little door, and you'll see why that's important. So the first thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and put the papers on the inside so that we can get rid of these. I've already inked them, so we can get rid of these paper clips. So we're going to glue these on the inside. Yes, you are going to see some gluing and some inking as well. Remember, we're not going to ink the manila folder, and I am not inking the envelopes either, just the paper, even though the envelopes are two different colors of cream. And one of them we have to cover the inside if we're going to make an inside pocket, the large one, because the inside of it, the long one, is white. I had no idea until I opened it up, right before I started doing the preliminary work before doing this. So let's put this on here and let's put it right side up. That would always be helpful. We're going to leave a little border all the way around. Come on. Okay, now we're going to glue this one on. I've never seen an envelope stack that opens with a door in the front or a flap in the front, so we're going to have to see if this works. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, then starting over is what we're going to do. I'm trying to get this video done. I have totally cleaned out a closet. I mean, completely cleaned out a closet. Got rid of some furniture too. I got all new stuff for the craft room. It was really cool. It's black, like metal, with the gray cloth drawers that have the handles on the front. I did not get it at Dollar Tree, but the drawers kind of look like the ones that you get, the tan or the black or whatever ones. Try to make these even. That would be good. And then when you smush them around like that, even though I didn't put a lot of glue around the edges, it flattens that glue out. Okay, so now we've got this. And that's going to be our cover. And we have to remember to put ties on the back to tie around the envelope stack. I was trying out the inks. Okay, so then on the cover, we're going to build an envelope stack. Now, so for right now, we're actually not going to need this. Oh, and I was going to do another one in here. Oh no, yeah, this is the cover. I'm going to do another folder for the book. I have to remember to do that. So what we're going to do, let me make sure on my notes here. We're going to glue a large envelope onto the left side. Let me show you the one that I did for the right side. What I did was I made, since it was white on the inside, I cut those little tabs off, and then that opens it up. And while it's open, I put this piece of paper here, then I glued it shut, and then I papered this, then I flipped it over, and I papered this. Okay? So this is going to go on the right side. That way the picture's right side up. Right side, right side. So it will be going here. And I measured it and trimmed it to where it's just a little bit shorter than the paper. Okay. Then we're going to do an envelope on the right, but another small envelope on the left. Let's see if I did that right. So I covered both sides of this. I left it open at the top. I trimmed it to make it open at the top, and then I put in a thumb hole. So we're gonna do it, don't worry, but I'm just telling you what I did. So this one's gonna go on the right, and oh, we need another small one for the left. What did I do with it? So what we're going to do is we're going to label this left. So we put the pictures on right side up. All you do to cover this is you just make two rectangles the size of the page. Now we're not going to make a pocket this way out of it. We're going to make a side pocket out of it. This one's a top pocket, so we're going to make a side pocket out of this one. Then we're going to put it on here like so. And we're going to stagger them a little bit. Okay, like that. And then we're going to take another large envelope and put it on this side. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Then we're going to put two small ones in the front and look at the door that's in the ephemera. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it look like the door opens. And we're going to use magnets on the envelopes to make sure that those two doors stay shut and they don't flop open. I've backed the door with manila folder to make it stiff, not just cardstock. I used 67-pound or 65-pound Neenah, N-E-E-N-A-H, vellum finish paper, and it has a different feel to it, and I like it a lot better than, excuse me, I had some cereal and it's like stuck in my throat. So let's go ahead. Yeah, that's her stack so far. I don't want anything to come apart. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now we're going to paper one of these long ones. So the first thing we need to do is cut it down to 8 3/4. Now I think I'm going to do 8 5/8 and then do an 1/8 on the bottom to help open the envelope up all the way. See how they're white on the inside? I have no idea why. Now remember, this is going to go on the left side, so our images are going to have to go on with this being the right side up. So let's put top, and then let's write top. I even wrote left side, and I wrote left side in here. So anything you can do to help yourself not forget. Oh, thank you, Cassie, for my charm. Or my dangle, for my glue. Oops. That I apparently do not know how to put in my glue. Okay, so we're going to measure 8 3/4, but we're going to leave just a smidge off or on. Then we'll cut an 1/8 off the other end. And it doesn't matter if it comes out a little shorter than the whole page. That's fine. So now, this is completely open. You can take this and cut this little part off. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Now, we're going to put the paper here, which is the part that covers up the white. Okay. So I've already pre-cut this. So since it's open, you can do the full height. Of course, I did it just a smidge different, so yeah, how did I end up with such a short paper? Oh, because I made this taller. Just to be on the safe side, let's make the envelope that height. That's how long I cut the paper. That's how long the other one was. I say we go with the flow. Now, you're going to want to ink this, the paper. Get the white off the edge, but you only have to do the ends and the part that shows in the middle. When you hear the timer, that just means 30 minutes and I need to start a new video. Doesn't mean that our time is up. It's going to take us a little bit longer to do this. And this is the hardest part. Or not the hardest, but the most time consuming. Especially because we're going to do these little special doors. I probably, in fact, we're going to do it right after this just so we don't forget. Even though that door is going to be tied shut at the top, I don't want it to swing open. You know what I mean? With the whole envelope stack on it as soon as we untie it. I don't want that to happen. So, I've already papered the inside, but I can put a magnet on the front and I can put a magnet on the back. And that should hold it shut. Didn't even think about that until just now. You're going to line this up with the fold, you know, the envelope. There's going to be a smidge of white the way around it. Okay. Now we're going to glue this shut. Let's do either side. And then that's going to give you the long pocket right here. Okay. Now this is the other half. Whoops, let's do the magnets before we forget. We've already covered the inside, so we're going to have to put one on the back and one on the front. And that will hold it shut, the envelope stack shut, because it'll hold the cover shut. Well, it'll hold, because this is going to have, the envelope stack is going to put weight on this, and that's going to make it want to tend to swing forward. So we're going to try to keep that from happening. That was pretty funny. Well, I guess we won't lose it, will we? So let's put this one on the front. And then we'll put the other one on the back. Now we don't have to worry. Okay, we can't put the ties on until we see how fat the envelope stack's going to be. Okay, and then that will hold this shut, and by holding this shut, it will hold the envelope stack shut, because we don't want this cover flipping open once we put the envelope stack on here. Okay. So now all we have to do is take the other part of the paper from here, and it should already be the same height, and it is. So all we're going to have to do is measure the width. So remember, we don't have to cut this edge or anything. No thumb holes, no anything. Forgot what I was doing. Oh, I don't have to do that. And don't forget to ink it. We're going to have to ink this paper. And we should have enough for the front as well. And this particular paper we can put pockets on and stuff. And I'm not inking it very much at all. Just enough to get the white off the edges. Otherwise I could do it faster, but I'm trying to not get it all up over the edge and stuff. I don't want it to really look inked. I just don't want the white to show. Okay. Since I'm not inking the envelope, I'm just cutting the papers to the edge. I'm not leaving a little edge like we are on the manila folder pages because we are covering up the fact that our envelopes are several colors, even though they're all cream. So if you kind of see a little bit, you may not notice. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This has numbers. So this is our top. So let's put our numbers on right side up. Remove the dog hair. How was that short? It was just long. Oh, there we go. It's just long enough when we measured it just a second ago. Okay, and then all we need to do now is cover the front with this. And I want the 28 to be on there. So I'm going to, actually wouldn't mind the 3 being on there as well. So let's just measure from this side over to the fold, and that will be our width. Then we'll have one envelope done. Well, we'll have 3 envelopes done, but 2 of them I did off camera. Keep your scraps like this. They make good belly bands. You can turn them sideways and make tuck pockets. Kind of looks like I cut it crooked. I did. Look at that. I have to use it for something else. I can't believe I cut it that crooked. This isn't wide enough, so we're going to have to break into a new piece of paper. We have a lot of the flowers left, don't we? Let's see. There's a couple with more. This will work. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm just acting like you guys can see everything I'm doing. I think this one will work. Trying to keep them similar. Okay, let's start a new video. Okay. So let's try this again. Let's do it here. Oh, for cripe's sakes. Just want to know the length. Let's do it here. And now remember, I'm not cutting inside to leave the edge. I'm cutting right even with it, she says confidently. Keep this. This should probably cover another envelope. You see. We're just trying to keep the papers similar on the envelope stack. Then we can always print out more of these, even though there's 60 pages. If we need something of the same to match the cover. There are plenty of pages they all match. Like we could just use this paper. I must be cutting on the wrong side of my pencil mark. Because I really have no idea what's going on. It's harder when you're going to cover right up to the edge than to leave the little border. I almost left the little border and decided it didn't matter. Alice in Wonderland's a little eclectic, to say the least. A little scattered, a little fractured. So I don't think it would have mattered. So if you want to do yours that way, I don't think it would matter. I'll put the links in the text below to the envelopes. And this looks like a little bit's going to show. So what we're going to do, I'm going to glue it like this, and then I'm going to trim this and re-glue it. Not really sure what's going on. Oh, see, I didn't even get into the glue. All right. Now, remember, we're still going to have to cover this one. but I'm not going to do that on camera. And then this one is going to go on top of it here, like that. And then the hopefully interesting part, or the focal point, is the door on the front. I'm not sure how we're going to do this, to tell you the truth. What I'd like to do is do the, let's see how big it is. I want to do one this way and one that way so it opens like a door. And put the door on the front one. And I don't see why that wouldn't work. We're going to paper it with this. It looks like we're going to have to paper the back of the door. Alright, so let me do that. Let's paper this front and back with this paper. And then I'll paper the back of the door, at least the top half of it. And then I will come back. Okay? I just wanted to show you what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to put one on this side, one on this side, and they're going to be even. They're not going to be staggered. And then it's going to open like a door. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So cover this one front and back with the checkered paper. This one front and back with the checkered paper, because we're going to make it look like a wall. And then the back of this with the manila folder, and then the checkered paper, so that when you open it, it isn't just manila folder on the back. Okay, I'm going to do all of that, and then we'll discuss it when I come back, in case, you know, covering the fronts and the backs becomes a little crazy. Okay? Alright, I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, well, guess what? I don't have as much covered as I thought, because I realized we have to do magnets. Now, I covered the door on the back. Looked kind of cool. We're not going to see all of it. But it's still kind of cool. There's a little cutout right here, so make sure to kind of cut that out. You don't want to just see your paper right there. But we want to do our magnets on here. So what we need to do actually is glue the stack together first, and then we'll have a couple of envelopes that we have to cover, and I can put you on hold for that. So what we need to do is make sure that these are all where they're supposed to be. Hello, Oz. Yep. Okay. And then we want to make sure these are even. And I think I marked on the back to make them even where they should go. Let's see if this is right. Okay, this will go here. And then this will go down there. Yeah, that'll make it even. Okay, so we're going to just peel these back, and we're going to glue them down. These are the flaps from the envelopes that we have on there. You don't have to glue them like there's no tomorrow. We're going to glue all of this to that manila paper. Remember, this is our Alice paper that we're gluing it to. Okay, and then let's glue this one. Okay, and let's make sure it's straight. And glue it over. And we'll glue these two over. And then we'll come back and do these. And even with this smaller stack, well, medium stack. There's still a lot of papers to cover, just so you know. You can make yours smaller, as in less envelopes. And that's fine. Okay. I hate it when I have to wait for the glue. It's like one of my pet peeves. Alright, let's make sure this is lined up with the edge of the paper. Okay, now for these two, we want to line them up with these lines, but we want to double check as well. Okay, oops. We want to make sure they're straight across from each other. Yes, you see this one's lower. Yeah, so this is on this line. So we actually have 3 envelopes left to paper. There's one on the inside. It looks like too much glue right there at the edge. There's one on the inside. I just made that crooked. Okay, let's line this one up with that one. That probably would have been the better way to go anyway. Make sure it's in all the way. Make sure it lines up. Now, the more you get, the less it's going to come to, you know, all the way in, because it's got to wrap around all those other envelopes as well. You know, just being patient and waiting for that bubble is much easier than just like squeezing it over and over again. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over real quick and check it before it's too late. It could come down just a smidge. Not much. Let's see. Need it to come down just a little bit. It still seems a little bit high. I'm going to have to re-glue this here in just a minute. Excuse me, just 1 second. There we go. All right. So now we're going to put the magnets on. What I did was, I actually had them this way. And that's not going to line up. Now that I've done all that maneuvering of the envelopes. Oh, come on. There we go. So really we're gonna put a magnet on the front, but it needs to line up with this magnet here. So we're gonna lean it over and try to line it up as close as possible and make a dot. And then that's where we'll put our magnet. And then we'll put our other magnet here. They're put on with tape, so we can move them if we need to. And then we'll cover everything. And then we'll place our door. This way is better than gluing, in my opinion. Oh, they're repelling each other. No, it's just not lined up or something. Okay, so that means we want to flip it over. There we go. Yeah, they're on top of each other. You couldn't see me, but I was leaned way over sideways. Or maybe you could see the top of my head. It's still... I think I would rather have the magnet over here to hold it shut. That's too far. Because it's too far back and the end still sticks up. There we go. Did you hear that click? Everything works much better now because they're not in the center. Okay, so now we can cover the fronts of these with the black and white. And then if you're going to use, you know, like this grungy corner on one, then you need to use it on the other and use it on the opposite side. Now, you're not going to have enough paper to do 2 envelopes or 2 fronts on one paper, just so you know. You're just not. So let's do this one together, and then we will take a break and I will do the rest of the envelopes, and then we'll be done with the envelope stack except for any pockets or anything you want to put on. Alright, I want it this wide. I think that's what my problem is I'm... Okay, let's do the width. Here's our door. I have a giant mess. You guys know what giant messes do to my brain. They make my brain not function. I'm serious. I can't. I get too scattered. Okay. Now let's get our length. And your pencil lead has thickness. That's what I've been doing, is cutting on the wrong side of my line. So now we have these cool scraps that we'll be able to use in the book. We'll be able to use as pockets in here somewhere. Okay, so I've decided I want this brown in the upper corner, not in this lower corner. It's going to be covered by the door. I just don't like that. So I'm going to have to ink it real quick. This is a long video, I understand. After we glue this, we'll end it here, and then I will come back and do the rest in the next video, which is just, I'll glue all the papers on and we'll come back and do the door. And then this will be where we end. This is a long video. But envelope stacks take up time, that's for sure. It's been over an hour, and I cut away to do a lot of the papering, and I had cut a bunch of the stuff ahead of time. So, just so you know. They're so fun, though. I love doing them. They're one of my favorite things to do. So we cover this. We're going to have to decide where the pocket's going to be, and I would say a top pocket. I cut the thumb hole on the back. Alright, so I'm going to cover this one, and these are the papers I've decided to use on the backs, and use the clock on this side, and or maybe I'll use the numbers on this side. Anyway, I'm going to decide. I've got these papers, and then I'm going to have to print some more of these out probably. I'm going to have to look at all the horizontal papers too, because I used a bunch of the vertical papers and I could have used some of the horizontals. So we're going to use horizontals inside as well. Okay? Alright, well that's going to be it for this video. And I will see you in the next video. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.